Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brian Schrader coming back at you with part 8 of our DIY Moonshine Still build from the Distillery Network. So in this part, we are going to be building the Thump Keg of it, part of this. So with this, I'm actually going to add a 2-inch tri-clamp for this, so I can add flavors and stuff to my Thump Keg. You can pour it down the 1/2-inch tubes as well that they're provided with, but I figured it'd be a lot easier with a 2-inch ferrule with the tri-clamp part for it. So I'll show you how to do that. This video might be a little bit longer just because I'm going to try and get the whole Thumper built in one video, and then we can move on to the condenser. So anyway, stay tuned. Okay, so in this part of the video, I've already took the liberty of soldering the Thumper body together. Same thing as we'd been doing, clamping it, solder it, nothing too different there. So the way you're going to size it is you're going to size it to the size of the 3 round copper pieces that were sent with the kit. And then measure your laps and make them the same. Same thing with the condenser body. So with this, I'm just going to fit it in. We're going to start with the bottom. You're going to need something to support the bottom of the Thump Keg. And for this, I just had a piece of stainless tray that I'm using to support it. So I'm going to slide this down over the top of it to push up on the bottom of this. So let me fit this up real quick. Okay, so now that I got it set up on the stand, I have already fitted in there. It's a nice tight fit. We're just going to flux the bottom here all the way around. All right, now we start soldering. Almost forgot that part. Clamp your seams. All right, well, if you got, sometimes you'll get little gaps on the back side by the seam. So what you can do with that is just kind of work it around with a hammer, light taps. I could use a rubber mallet, that'd probably be best. I'll just kind of tap it. That'll help close that gap up a little bit. That way you don't have to stack as much solder in there. don't need to hit it too hard. Okay, so now with this, I found center of the top portion of the Thumper Keg. So this is what I'm about to do is completely optional. So if you're not going to add this, you don't need to worry about it. So what I did was I laid out 3 different points on the this board. I found center of the board, and then I came up, because this is 9 inches, so divide that in half, that's your radius. So I went center line of the board and then up 4.5, so that gave me center this way, center this way. So if you wanted to put this in the center, you already got your center laid out, just line it up, put your circle down. Or I bumped it up 1 more inch, so 1 inch off center. So all you do is you just move it up to your next mark that you line. You have your center line here that goes through your circle, and then you look through the holes and line those up with the hole or with the line on the side. So that'll give you 1 inch off of center down here. And you could just make your mark down here on each side, draw your straight line, and then you got your X. So for me, I'm going 2 inches off center. So I came up from this mark 2 inches and made a line. Okay, so I made my line with the bench ruler, 2 inches off center. So then I come up like that, make my mark, line my vertical up, and then line my horizontal up, and then that gives me 2 inches off center. So then I make my mark here on the 4.5 mark right here, and then scribe it with a pencil. So that now gave me 2 inches off center. So now you can just line your hole up right there, and trace it out, and you can cut it out with a pair of snips. Or what I'm about to do is I'm about to use a hole saw. So one sec, let me get set up with the hole saw. Okay, now that I got this clamped down, I got my board clamped to the bench, and then I got a quick clamp on this side, and then an actual vice grip clamp on this. So since you got your center line and then your 2 inch offset mark, you got an X there. So on these hole saws, they come with a pilot bit that makes it so that you can just put that bit right where you want it, and then it'll make your 2 inch hole. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, power through. Just like that, we added our 2 inch hole, and it fits right on top, just like that. So now we're going to assemble this onto the top of the Thump Keg. All right, so now that we got the top fit in the inside of the Thump Keg, you can, if it's not fitting real tight, you can take a pair of needle nose and kind of hold up on it, and or some wire, and weave it through the bottom of the lid and pull it tight so it'll hold it up.
There's many ways.
This is fitting real nice, so I don't have to do that. So for this same thing, we're just going to flux the top, solder it. All right, now that we got this soldered, the top soldered on, I'm going to solder on the 2-inch ferrule. So whenever you're soldering something that's a thicker metal, so like this ferrule right here is thicker than the top of the Thump Keg, you're going to want to apply your heat to that. So without moving it, just kind of get your flux down around the top and on the ferrule itself. Kind of get it set back to where you want it. All right. Just like that. So now I'm going to apply the heat to the ferrule. Let it slide down. Don't get it so hot that it keeps the solder melted like I just did. That was a mistake.
Things are going good, so I did that. Now it's kind of on there a little crooked. So I gotta see if I can speed it up and fish it out again.
All right, let's try that again, huh? Okay, just like that. I got the tri-clamp ferrule set on there. So again, just watch your heat on that. I learned a lesson on that one. Basically what was happening was when I was soldering it, my puddle wasn't cooling. And I couldn't figure out why until the ferrule actually almost fell inside the thumper itself. So again, yeah, if you're getting it, if it's so hot that you don't even need flame to melt your solder, let it cool down for a second. Let the solder set back up. But yeah, so now we got that done. I'm going to punch a hole, or fit the inlet and outlet of the thumper. All right, thank you. All right, so now that we got the ferrule on and it's cooled down, you're going to take, we got 3 sections of pipe here. You're going to take your long one and a shorter one and stick them through. So with this one,
that one is big like you, Dad.
It is, and now we got my little helper here. I'm going to stick this one through all the way down to the bottom, and then you're going to make a mark. And then from that mark, you're going to measure up 3 inches. So basically what we just found is the bottom of the pot. And now you're coming up 3 inches from that, and that is going to be where you solder in the next piece. Put that all the way down to that spot. And then flex it in. All right, Olivia, it's going to get a little loud for a second, okay? Now you're leaving? It's okay. You're not gonna, everything's all right, kiddo. Don't worry about it. All right. Now that piece is in. You take a shorter piece. You're going to drop that in about 1 inch. So make your mark at 1 inch. Kind of force it in. This, you're going to want to make sure that you kind of keep it straight, up and down. That way's good. That way's good. And flex that in. Same thing as before. Heat it up. Solder it in. All right, and then with this, You can choose to solder in your fittings. So that right here, you're gonna have, on this side, you're gonna have a 45-degree fitting. Sorry, right here. So you can force that on and solder it on this side. Or you can do it off the end of this pipe. So you'll have it like this, and then there'll be a tiny adjustment part right here where you can solder it onto that. That's your choice. Personally, I'm gonna wait to solder that till later. But yeah, you're gonna have one like that, and then one piece 90 and off like this. So it'll end up looking just like that when you're done. So those of you who don't know what a tri-clamp does, so you put it on just like that with the cap. Tightens it down just like this. That's where you can add your fruit and other whatever you want to add into your second portion of the distillation. That's what the Thump Keg's for. Totally optional. You don't have to do it. It's just something I wanted to do. And so for that portion, that is everything. I just need to, now I'm going to add the drain plug. So with the drain plug, okay, everybody, thanks again for watching part 8. So I will post the links of where I got the tri-clamp kit. I got it from the Brewery Network, I believe, or Brewers Hardware. So again, yeah, just I'll put the link of where I got it in the description. And thanks again for tuning into part 8. Stay tuned for part 9. We're going to build the condenser. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. So we're going to build the condenser, and then we're going to plumb everything together, make sure everything fits, and make adjustments as needed. All right, thanks again.